Hello and welcome to this session. I'm Clifton and I'm joined by my colleagues Friedrich and Gert, and together we're the Belgian Power Apps and Flow user group. We started this group in 2018 and we have grown to approximately 200 members. Our main goal is promoting the adoption of the Microsoft Power Platform. We are focused on the non-BI components of the Microsoft Power Platform and their interaction with the surrounding ecosystem. We organize events throughout the whole year. Sometimes we do it alone, and sometimes we work closely with other user groups and associations. You can find us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you'd like to know more about us, please feel free to take a look on our website. So today our presenter is Eva Bial. She'll be talking about the integration between Office 365 and Power Apps. Let's now switch over to Eva to introduce herself and show what she's got in store for us today. So you go ahead, Eva.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation first. I'm Eva Bilal from Cologne, Germany. And today actually I wanna go with you to know more about Power Apps and Outlook calendar and how we can make the connection in these two things. So I'm gonna show you how to connect to Office 365 Outlook calendar and what you can do there, and then we will get to know like a little bit more what we can do there and find the if we're gonna find the right connections between the Outlook calendar and Power Apps. So I'm gonna share my screen and start to build up the first app. And here we go. So the first step is actually if you contact to Office 365 Outlook, you can show, send, delete, and reply to email messages in addition to other tasks. You can add control to perform this function in your app. For example, you can add text input controls to ask for the subject, the body of the email, and add a button control to send an email as well. This topic shows you how to add Office 365 Outlook as a connection, add Office 365 Outlook as a data source to your app and everything. So I'm gonna jump here on the Power Apps environment and click on a normal Canvas app from a blank. Give that a name. Connect 365. And we're gonna make that as a template and click that just on create. It will get our things ready. And the first thing that we were gonna do is add the connection. So we have here the data sources. If we click on it, we have for sure a lot of data sources. Just gonna search for our task, which is Office 365, and you can see that we have actually more than one. But what we want to make the connection to, it's this one. It's the Outlook one. So when we click on it, if now I already make the connection already, but we click on add connection and we can see that here is our target. But normally we're gonna ask you for a username and password and everything. Just give the right one for it. Connect. So the Office 365 Outlook connection has been created and added to your app. Now it's ready to be used. As you can see here in your app, so you have the connection. So we're gonna just do it as normal as it possible. We go to insert, we search for in a gallery, and we take like one from blank as well. We can take title, subtitle, and body. And here we go. Now we have like just a simple gallery. We go to the item for the gallery, and here we write Office 365 Outlook. And as you can see, as soon as write this on the items, I got a lot of options. So I got get emails, calendar delete items. I can like get any items in my calendar, or get tables, or patch an item, post an item, even delete, export, or find meeting time. That's we're gonna talk about it later in our next app. Yeah, and even if I want to get an attachment from a special email, there's a lot of possibility, honestly. So I'm gonna just take get emails, and also when I write this get email, so I also have like here a lot of possibility, like fit only the unread one or something. So now I'm just say for this like false, and here we go. So as you can see, that's in the gallery now. I have something like an elements, but I don't really have anything. So I have to go to every item, and I say this item, and here I can choose. This is the possibility that I have for every item in the gallery. So I can choose like this email, it's from who, and I can go to subtitle and say, okay, I want it's to who, or the ID, or the subject, or the attachment, or it has an attachment or not. That's all the things that you can bring it into Power Apps. Here, like it's selected, and this is the subject. So now what you saw, it's just a small example about how to make the connection between the Office 365 Outlook and Power Apps. There's a lot of ideas. You can use it out of the box to do this. So you can also like do it more later on and say, okay, I don't want get emails, I want to send in emails, or I want to do a special thing like let's say see patch an item in my calendar, or I want in special tables there. There is like all of this possibility that you can use, and you can also use it for a lot of idea that it helps you with your work. Even you can send an approval mail. So if sure it won't be like just an item for a gallery that have your emails, maybe you're gonna use it for another task. So you have like a whole process, and in the end you want to send an approval, and you don't want to use Power Automate. So maybe that's an option to send an approval email directly to SharePoint or to Calendar or to somebody, like someone specially. Yes. So that was just the first begin for that. And now I want to show you something very, very nice that had Microsoft done. It's in a template that created by Microsoft. In particular, this step is going to dive into a book room, book a meeting room with an existing meeting or without. What I want to say is finding the right conference room for your meeting sometimes has been not easy, you know, especially for busy professionals on the go. They need to change the meeting location or add a room, or maybe just need to quickly reserve a room. Then I think this app, it will help you, because you don't want to go and open all your SharePoint or whatever from data source that you have and book the room in your big company. You just want like in a fast appointment to make. You are like on your way and you need something to help you. So what the Microsoft did, it's if we go here under create in the Power Apps environment, we have here a lot of templates, and by the way, a lot of them, they are very helpful. Like normally when we open Power Apps, and we don't really look at them, but everyone from them, they have very nice ideas that we can do. So we're gonna search for this app. It's Book a Room. And I want to also say that you can get this Power App exact same code that I've running now. Like all what you need to do, it's like just follow my lead now. Book a room, and give your app a name, book room test or something, and just as a template, create. Here it will gonna ask you for two connection permission, because it will gonna use your Outlook calendar, the Office 365, and it's gonna ask you for the Office 365 users. So you need to have permission on these two, your account, I mean, to use the app for sure. And I'm just gonna click here on allow. Yeah, and here we go. That's the app. It's really nice. It's have two options on the first page. First option, it's book for an existing meeting. So if I have already in a meeting on my calendar in the in Outlook calendar, but I don't have a room for this, so I just go here and say book for an existing meeting. And now actually I didn't have any meeting, but that's what it is. So it's show you here the date and what we have. I can say, okay, for tomorrow, save. Tomorrow I have like one appointment, and this is my appointment. Show me, okay, I want this. And also you have the opportunity from this page to go to the other page with the book now without a meeting. So just click here, and that's for today from 8 p.m. till 8:30, which room in my company or in my environment that they are free in that time. So I actually have these rooms because it will get directly the user account and go to the exchange rooms in your company and see what have you defined it and how. So I can choose here what time that I really want that and how long. Let's say here 1 hour, save. So it's safe for me now. This room, it's booked already. It's nice. It's nice to use. A little bit. It needs a little bit here to change because it didn't define them much good, like with the design. But it's not a big deal. What I want to show you now, if you want that app to have it in your for you to use, I need you to know there's a lot of things that existing in this app. Maybe you don't even want it, but it's good to know so you can change it. In the last page in the developer side, you have here like kind of a book about all the collections and variables that's used in this app. And yes, it is a little bit too much. We have like I think all of these collections, and also a lot of global variables and local variables as well. We can also see at the same time here if you go to collection. So they defined the times, like then 0, it's like 12 a.m. and this is all rooms. It's a function from Office 365. So if we go to the first on start of the app, you can see that the first collection is a calendar localized label. So they defined all the possibility of the calendar name, let's say. And they made the next collection, which is room list. And they used the same one that we used in the last app. They say Office 365.get room lists. And that will gonna go to your data in your Outlook calendar, and you can bring all the rooms that's defined in your company. So if you're gonna see here, collection, all rooms, they will give us the address as an email address and the name for that room. And we have the second option here. It's just also the second collection, which is duration. They also defined the time with the minutes. So they give that like a specific name. And they are like 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and that's the duration that can be for a meeting, 4 hours. But here they just give it like a maximal hours. Like you can't add more than four hours time for one meeting. If you want to change this, we have to come here on the on start and go to duration time and define like the same as here, like time, 5 hours, minute, and everything. Yeah, the second or the third, the third collection, it's times. It's also like define every time with a minute, because it's we have a lot of different times in the Outlook calendar, because it's like international. And even if you're gonna go to the calendar, you can see that we have here the current time zone, and the current time zone can be changed. Like there's a lot, and you can define it for like every time. So that's why they made this to let the app works, that they find it that they define the time locally in the app. So they didn't say that 12 o'clock it's today or now, and if after whatever. No, they said 12 o'clock it's 0 minutes. So this kind, because they don't want the time different. They want that template to use it in everywhere. Yeah, and in the end they just make this variable, it's called my calendar, and they use this one, the other connection, Office 365 calendar get tables, and that's, they bring the name, the tables from my calendar here, and my name also used Office 365 users, just dot my profile. And if you go to the variable my name now, we can see that it have the record, like what the name and the ID and the job title and everything. And that's also from the Office 365. Yeah, my organization, it's the same topic, but it just like, it didn't use the direct connector. It's kind of, yeah. Okay, I want also to talk about something. What we was seeing here. It's like the first day, the first page. It's a book without a meeting. When we go to the room select screen, we can see that we have this available room email name, which is actually, it's in a collection that they have wrote it here. It's invisible from the page room select screen. And here they have used all of this collection. So first we have seen this all rooms, that we get all the room. And then they take this all rooms and they use the other function from Office 365, which is say, okay, click collect. I want you to name available rooms, Office 365, and then they use the find meeting times, which is, it will shows me if I have meeting or if there's a meeting in this time, and it will bring me all the meeting, not only my meeting, but all the meeting in the company. And this is all the function that you can write inside the find meeting times. If we can go and see the collection now, available rooms, so we have here in a suggestion, we have the organizer available. We can see the meeting time, when it starts and when it's end. And it's all in UTC time. And that's very important to recognize, because if you need to change the time for you from UTC and know how to do that, and the UTC have in a very special like date value, let's say, because it's look like this. And if you want to give a specific time, you need to give it the same way, so you don't change it and you don't it won't accept it. You have to give this type of form from the date. Yeah, and that's the point with the available rooms. And I also defined the start time and the end time, which is I get it from here exactly, the date, the time. So it's a variable that I put it in, they put it in time and on today. So when it's selected, it will change directly and bring me from find meeting time, all the meeting in this time from start date time UTC and the end date time UTC. And this is the variable, and this is the start use time, start date time, and end date time. And it's actually 1 hour different because we made the duration for 1 hour, and it's in the UTC. So it's now I have like 2021, and in here is like 1 hour before because they defined it like this. Exactly here in this from 8 to 9 p.m. Yes, and sure you have to give the activity domain, and this is the minimum attended percentage. It's like if I want more than 1 or 2 or 3 of the lobe, like it will bring me like now I just give the specific time. I said from 8 till 9, so I just want it in this time. But if I want more, I need to change. I'm gonna show you later on another example because it was another showcase for a customer. But in this case, they just define it like this. So if you want to change it, you have to come here and say, yeah, I need more than one option. Yes, exactly. So this is this was very helpful for this kind of showcase when I defined in a specific time and specific date. It's really okay. But I had another showcase for a customer. He have like a very big company, and in every company or in every room for meeting room, they have in a specific barcode, which is had the room ID. And what they want, they want like to take the Power Apps and scan the code, and check the availability for the room, if it's free or if it's not free. And if it's free, I want to see that, and if it's not free, I want to see that too. So it was a little bit not easy because here you just give the time and you check for the availability. But what they want to give the room, and they want to see that in all the time if there's available or not. So that was a little bit tricky to do that. I'm also going to show you how to do this because after 3 days of working on it, I get it. But it was really nice to see all of that and see how it's working. Yes. So this is the app. It's just this is in a similar app. It's not the same one, but it had the same function. That's in a normal barcode scanner. It's just like scan in book. So you're just moving around your organization and you saw in a room and you want to sit in it, but you want just to check the availability. You click on scan on book, and now I defined in a specific one. Yeah, and here the customer want to see in all the available time for work time. So they work from 8 till 18 o'clock. And they want that in a specific way. So they say, okay, from 8 till 9 if it's available or not, from 9 till 10, and this kind of things. What I needed to do, I said, okay, on scan the app, do these things. First, I had to give an ID, a room ID, because when it's scanned, actually it's gonna give me like the address or the name of the room, which is I already did the same as the app from Microsoft. I get all the rooms. I use the Office 365 Outlook.get rooms. So all rooms now, for me in a collection, I have in a normal collection would have an address and name, and it would bring me all the rooms names and address. That's okay, that's fine, that's not the problem. So what I have now, I have the room, all the rooms. So I can check if that room, it's in my list first. So what I done, I said, okay, first clear, like just making a collection, click collect all rooms, room, and filter the all rooms collection under the address that I've taken from the barcode scanner. That's the first step. So I made a collection for just the room that I scanned now, which is make me check like all the availability now for just for this room. So this problem is solved. Second things, I had to define the start and end time. So, and that's have to be in the work time. So when they start and when they end. So they start at 8 o'clock in the morning and they finish their work at 18. And here I had like to do like start variable and end variable. And ask me why I put 10 o'clock here, because it's 2 hours later. And I said here for 24, it's okay, because later on it won't work anymore. Like 24, it's like 0, 0, 0, 0. It's like the whole day. Yes, and now variable, that's also something I need, which is, as you see, I define it with the text, the same data form, because otherwise it didn't accept my variable. And I said now variable, it's just use now, and 0 because it's just now, and you have to define that with hours. Otherwise, you can define that with days if you want, just to say here like just today. If I want to say like set today variable, so just use days instead of hours. Yes, and the next thing is to making a collection for the available rooms, but it's actually available room, which is, it's called from Office 365 in find meeting. What I said I want you to find the meetings from this time, my start time, till the end time, and I want the meeting duration to be like 60 minutes. And here I said 0, and now you can see the collection, how it looks like, the available rooms. Go here, available rooms, meeting times, and here we have like if it's free or not first, second the location, second the this is the room, and then we have the room address. And you can see here, this is because we have filtered this. We go and see the second room, it's also the same one, because we had used room, but we didn't use all rooms. And this is my room, which is I scanned already. Yes, so now I have in a collection which had all the possibility for the room, but you have to see that what I see, it's just the free time. So if it's booked, the Power Apps just ignoring it because it's booked and I don't need it. And there is no possibility at all to bring the lock time. Even when you try the busy variable or anything in that way, it won't work. So what I've done, as I told you, it's a little bit tricky. I have set in a variable for every hour, and I've set in a collection also for every hour. Why I did this? First, I want to talk about the variable. The variable, it's for every hour that I need to use it, and the collection is also for every hour I want to use it. But I filtered the availability of the room under the time, and then I went here to this page, and I just put a lot of labels, as you see, just a normal label. And if we can see here the fill, I said if the collection 8 o'clock is empty, not empty, So give me another color like green, it's free, but if it's empty, so then it's reserved. So in that way, I had the possibility to know also the time, which is also busy, by making a collection, because here in the collection available room stored, I have all the time, but it's just the free one. And when it's not free, when it's busy, so I don't have it at all. So that's why when I see, I say, sorry, I want to make in a collection, which is have the time from 8 till 9. So it will check here to see, no, it's not here. I will go to 8 o'clock and see it's empty. So it's busy. I can't book this. And also, I went to display mode and I said, okay, if date time value 8, it's bigger than the time now, so it's able to edit it, like to click on it, to book it or something. But if it's before or after, so disable, because you can't book a time which is already like when like today in the morning, you can't book it anymore. It's not here anymore. And I give it another just edit and display. Yes, in that way, I had the option to see which kind of room it's busy, and in the same time which kind of room they're like available, and if the time it's before, now or not. And you have to just put in mind that this time here, it's all for today. So that's what the showcase was about. I don't want something for later. I want just something for the moment. Like I'm working in an organization and I saw Rome, I scan it. Oh, I see that's here and here and here. It's in this time it's available, other time not. I'm gonna see here if I can, sorry, given a real example because the time different now. Sorry. Maybe you can just make a real example. Yeah. Okay, go here and scan book. I just need to make a refresh because I changed the time, because in the time now they are not working anymore. I think, yeah, I can't now do that because I need to change the whole numbers. But when the time it's available, it have to show you here now green or red. And when we click on it, when it's editable, so we're gonna navigate to a details page, which shows the room, the date, the start time and end time, and booked by who. And in one click, you can just book it, and that's it. So it's really easy one to use it for the moment. And it's also very helpful that we can like have it not in a lot of time when we know what we do. Yeah. I think I'm a little bit ready. Maybe we can start the question.
Okay, thanks, Eva. So I have to say, actually didn't have one question. So I think you did a really great job.
Thank you.
What I give me 1 second. Yeah, so we have a technical difficulty at the moment. 1 second, audience. So actually didn't have one question. Not one question really. You do get I see that you get a compliment from Pedro who says, no question, Eva, just go, go, go. Read from Cologne. So I think that's a heads up to you. I do have one remark though. I do know that there's a limitation with the current and how do I say it, the connector, that when you have rooms above a certain amount, that those rooms cannot be loaded. I think it was above 300 rooms, I think, or 100 rooms. I can't remember exactly what the limitation was. Do you know something about that?
I've shown that in the community as a question. I think that somebody had a lot more than 200 room in the organization, and the limit of that room it didn't work. But I think I didn't try it, to be honest. But do you remember when I talk about this loop that you can use to bring the rooms? I think in this case, maybe someone can have a little bit of tricks or make a filter function or something to get what all the room, all the 200. And I don't think that 200 room it's a lot, because we have a limitation of 2000 now element that we can get. So I think it can be a little bit tricky to do this, but it is possible. But I didn't try it, so I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, then maybe I can share with the audience the workaround that I use.
Yes.
Maybe it's not, it's also, I said, it's maybe not that efficient, but it works. What I did, actually what I do, I use Microsoft Flow. So I use Microsoft Flow to loop through all the rooms, and
Yeah.
then I place that result in a SharePoint list. And once the rooms are in a SharePoint list, those rooms can be referred to from within the Power Apps and a solution. Um, um, this approach has won and how do I say it? I can't come up with a word. It doesn't always work, because when, for example, the room name changes or the email address behind the room changes, then if you would reserve that room, that would not work. So the only way to reconnect with this room would be to once again go through the flow to repopulate the SharePoint list. But that's one workaround you can use to load all the rooms if you have more than
200 or something.
more than 200
Yeah.
rooms. Yeah.
Actually, I would prefer the filter function. Maybe it's he wants all the room, but he don't want all the 200 rooms in the same minute. So maybe you're gonna do this with giving the right the room that he wanted as an option to filter the rooms for the room that he wants. But getting all the rooms from the first second, it's can be tricky, but you can do that. It's not impossible. I don't think so.
Yeah, indeed. So, as I see, we don't have any questions anymore. Let me check. No, I see someone said, thanks, great meetup. So
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thanks to Eva, I would say. So if you don't have any questions anymore, maybe Eva, you have some last thing to say, or a finishing touch. I don't know.
Thank you very much for the invitation again. I hope that I helped a little bit. And for the next time, sure, maybe in Brussels.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. So I will share one last slide with the audience. So thanks again. This was Eva. Um, we will have our next event will be on the 18th of June. Then we will be joined by none other than the Forms Pro Queen, Megan Walker. She will talk about the variables, how to use variables to create personalized and powerful Forms Pro surveys. So be sure to tune in, and then we'll see you then. For now, we would say thanks again, Eva, and then
Very
I would
welcome.
say until the next
Next
time.
time. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.